loses her father, and that focuses her in such a way that she creates an organization. You know what I mean? That even though she ended up
Mhm.
losing her life, mm, an organization was created that's going to live on to carry on these people's legacies. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And now this becomes groups of people, not just one person, groups of people coming together to accomplish
Yep.
great things. So like
Mhm.
that's I think that's something that should occur. That's what we all should aspire to. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Because we can't finish the mission ourselves. And if your mission, if you can complete it yourself, it probably wasn't that great of a mission. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? If you can
Right.
complete it in your lifetime, you probably ain't striving for the shit we need. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Like, come on over there and sit in the corner
Yeah.
while
So you
we
gotta
make
plant these
evidence.
seeds and
Mhm.
hope that it's taken up and it has a
Mhm.
life of its own. And
I feel that way too. You know, I don't know about you, but I came up more so as, you know, just black, African American. And
mm-hmm,
like I told you before, I was born into the Nation of Islam, and even though I didn't grow up in it because you know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad passed away when I was still a toddler, but my mother instilled those things in me. You know, she's an NGT, and so I tell people I feel like I've literally been groomed for this moment. And so, you know, I studied a lot of the greats throughout my life, you know, from Garvey to Malcolm, of course. But when you look, the one who really got me through this in the beginning was Mamie Till Mobley.
mm,
Because what happened to her son, that evil that happened to her and her son, she could have just fell to pieces, you know, laid over there in the corner and just, you know, went through life in a blur. But she started an entire movement, the civil rights movement, that has helped millions of people, hundreds of millions. That's, you know, inspired other nations to stand up and fight and, you know, all these sorts of things. These are the people that I look to, you know, Merle Evers, Angela, Sada, all of these people, you know, when Marid was Two Clouds was, you know, being formed in me. These are the people I was reading and trying to emulate and all this kind of stuff. And
mm-hmm.
so definitely I agree with you wholeheartedly that again, this ain't about us. It's just not. It's not about us. We're nothing but tools and, you know, warriors, hopefully for real warriors in this mission. That's all it is. I feel like if the Messiah or, you know, the Prophet Muhammad or um um Malik Shabazz, or if all these people can be you know, criticized, condemned, murdered. Who the hell are we? Who are we? Why
Mm-hmm.
can't it happen to us?
Yeah.
But it's all for the mission. It's all for Creator.
Absolutely.
And some
No,
of us gonna have to fall like that, but not
it's
really falling.
no,
Hmm.
but it's poignant as you say that, right? Like for a lot of people, right? A lot of the influences that we look to, Malcolm X being one of them, right? If you
Hmm.
spend a lot of time in Harlem and you're out on 125th Street, you can go walk up the street around the corner and go walk past the Audubon, the
Hmm.
place he lost his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That if that's not a reminder, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
Hmm.
historical. That's a part of reality, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like standing up for something in our communities. We know what it come to. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? If you're really doing what you're supposed to be doing, like you always putting yourself in a situation where a climate can be created where something like this could happen, and
Hmm.
you know it's not addressed properly. You know what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
just say that to say that like anybody who stands up for anything in our communities for our people, this is a reality of that. You
It
know what I mean?
is.
And it's always been. And everybody that is a part of it, right? I'm sure that's something that we have had to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
have thought about, have accepted that this could be the reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't really no
Mhm.
rewards for this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're
Especially
either
if the
about it or
people,
you're not.
yeah, and especially if the people don't stand for you and stand up with you, there really aren't too many rewards in it because what you're trying to do is generational. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I
Definitely.
feel at least
And
we
you
can
know,
give people their flowers
right,
when they gone. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So
Yeah.
this is
Two and
this
I, we
is
used to talk about that.
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. We used to talk about it because, again, we studied the greats. We see the ones who made it through and still doing their thing. Again, like the Angela Davises, she's still up there.
Hmm.
um, and the people who gave their lives to the people. But
Yeah,
we're like goofy, so we used to like kind of laugh about it, and we would talk about people who were familiar, with the Bible and stuff like that, in the Quran. We used to talk about how Yunus was Jonah, and the story of him in the well, and he'd say like, listen, this is what Creator has for me. When I'm gonna run, where I'm gonna run to. So we would
hmm,
talk about Jonas like, look, Allah will put you in a timeout and you still gonna have to do it. So you gonna have to do it the hard way or the easy way. Might as well just do it. And
yeah,
we were always well aware, he would call me again. He, especially in the early days when he was first starting, because he was only 24,
yeah.
and he would call me, or the first time he went out for an action, he called me like kind of shaky. He's like, mm, I'm going to an action. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not about to do that. And he's like, yeah, but I might get locked up. And I was like, well, that comes with revolution.
Yeah.
And he was like, man. He was like laughing. He was like so happy. He's like, yo, I thought my mom was gonna be mad. So I said, yo, it ain't like you getting locked up for selling drugs to the people.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
always told my kids, get locked up for something dumb if you want to. I don't do no biz. But if you get locked up for fighting for the people, for revolution, I'm there. I'm
Yep.
on it. And so, we would have those conversations. And even, when they used to be shooting at him out there on the land and stuff like that, again, he would call me like, yeah, on me, they shooting at me, like they trying to kill me. Like he didn't know if he should stay up there or leave. Again, it's the early days. And again, I would tell him I always taught him, always, that one, if you're gonna, like, he'd be out there trying to be in the streets and he's a youngin'. And I would tell him that you have to die for something that is worth it, not for
Mm.
something stupid, doing little dumb stuff out here in the streets. And when he called me with that, I told him the same thing. Only you can say what you're willing to die for. But this comes with revolution.
Yep.
When he stayed, and then after a while, the reason he stayed was because he literally made an oath to Creator that he would never leave the Ramapo people, that he would always stay there, and that's what he honored because he knew that they needed him.